Okay, hi and welcome to video 2. This video is for new and returning makers, and in it we're going to show you how to log in and update your profile page as part of the Handmade Arcade virtual marketplace. First, we're going to go through how to log in as a new maker. If you want you're accepted into to participate in a Handmade Arcade virtual event, Handmade Arcade will create a maker user account for you. So you will get a username, and when you get your acceptance email, in that email it will tell you the date by which you can expect to receive your username. It won't automatically come with your acceptance letter because it takes us a little bit of time to process all of that, and generally we need to wait for makers to pay for their vendor space before we consider them a full-fledged maker in one of our events. So the most important thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you remember what email account you used with your application. I know many makers have a couple of email addresses, personal, sometimes work, sometimes their e-commerce sites. So just remember which one you used to apply to Handmade Arcade with, and that is the email that we're going to use to set up your account. Your username will be based on your email account, your name, or your business name, or some version of that. It cannot be changed. Once created, you're going to receive an auto-generated email from Handmade Arcade, which I will show you how to find. This email often goes into your spam, so what you're going to want to do is search for it. It's noreply@handmadearcade.org. There is no L in the word reply. That is a function of the website I cannot change, but you search that and you will find your email. You can see that this is my test account, and there are a lot of emails that have come through here, but you will see your login details. That is what the subject line will be: Handmade Arcade login details. It'll tell you your username, and then it'll allow you to go in and reset your passwords. And then you can immediately set your password to something that you will remember by clicking this link. Loading. Okay, so we're going to change so you're going to need to use your username here and get new password. Okay, so now it's going to tell you to check your email for the confirmation link and then visit the login page. So we will go back to our email and search again for the no reply email address that doesn't have the L in it. And you'll see that someone has requested a password reset. One of the things that's important to note is that you're going to want to search for it in your email, because this is a database generated email and it looks like spam. So majority of the time it's going to come into your spam account. So let's go back to search for it and password reset. So then you'll go to reset your password at the following link, and it's going to generate a password for you that's strong, but if you don't want to use a pre-generated password, in here you can type something that you would remember, like the name of your dog, which is my dog's name is Hank. But I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to ask them to generate a password. I'm going to keep it hidden. So it's going to generate a password, which we have blurred just because this is our dummy account, and we're going to save that password. And for me, luckily, in my Google account, it will save it for me. So when I go to log in, I should be able to just click login. You're going to want to write down your password somewhere so you don't forget, so you don't have to redo this step all the time, or save it in on your computer somewhere. Okay, so here we are. We're at the profile page. This is great. So returning makers, you can just, when you go to log in, I'm going to log out really quickly. If you're a returning maker and you cannot remember your username or your password, all you need to do is remember the email address with which you applied to Handmade Arcade. Click down here, lost password. So that is going to take you to our actual website, to the lost password screen. And you're going to want to either type in your username or your email address to reset your password. You will have an account that goes with your email address, and the password reset email has been sent. This brings me to actually another really great point that happened at our last virtual marketplace. So while I think that the best way to log into your account is to go to the handmadearcade.org/wp-login.php URL, that's the fastest way. If you forget that for whatever reason, you can also log into your email address by going to handmadearcade.org. You can log into your maker page this way. This is just another pathway in. Right here, you'll see the My Account link up here. This is an account. This works for if you have ever purchased anything through our WooCommerce site, if you've ever used our favorites function on the website, or if you are a maker. You can either register your email address for an account, which none of you should do because you will all have accounts, or you can log in this way. So you'll see I've got my CC Foley Makes account ready to log in. Click login. So you'll know that you're logged in because this black bar will have appeared at the top. You'll still see the Handmade Arcade website, but in order to go to the dashboard to update your maker page, you just go up here to Handmade Arcade and click dashboard. Okay, so now that we have accessed our maker account, I'm just gonna walk you through some of the buttons and the functionality over here before we move on. So first and foremost, you're logged in. You can tell that you're logged in by there's the black bar at the top, and you'll be brought to this gray screen. You will already have your maker page set up. We will already have set that up for you. So you'll already have your username set up there. One of the most important things that is key to success is you do not need to add a new page. We've already added your page. If you do click add a new page, you'll have to email me, Trisha at handmadearcade.org, to let her know that you've accidentally added a new page so she can go in and delete it. What happens is when we make the virtual marketplace live, if you have updated a page that is not the one that I created for you, it won't show up. The way we tag it as an administrator, your page just won't show up. So don't click add new. That's super duper 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 important. So up here is just the WordPress logo. You don't need to really, that's not necessary for our site. If you want to learn more about WordPress, you can feel free to log into that. Under here, when you're logged in to the back end, you can visit the Handmade Arcade site, or you can visit the store. You don't need to do that right now. I would just ignore those. Over here is where you can log out, and you can edit your profile here at any time. You can also edit your profile over here. So click profile, and that's the first thing we're going to do, is edit our profile. When you log in from the wp.admin link, it will automatically land you on your profile page. So don't keep this checked, don't uncheck that. As you can see, your username is grayed over. You cannot change that. Your first name, you can change that. So if you wanted to change it to your full name, which in this case is Cecilia, you can do that. If in my case, I have my last name is actually Brancalini Foley, but I can do that. Display publicly. So this is the nickname of your page. You want to make it something that makes sense. So if your username was, for example, your email address, which would be cc.foley@gmail.com, then you can change it to CC Foley Makes underneath the nickname. So that's what will come up whenever you log in to the actual maker page. You can keep your email. Don't change your email here unless the email that was put in here by Handmade Arcade is an email address that you don't check often. When you apply to Handmade Arcade, you should always want to use an email address that you check regularly. If you have an email address that is also your business name and you find that you don't check that regularly, you should either make it a practice to check it regularly or switch it to something that you do check regularly. The reason we suggest this is it's a customer service issue, especially during the virtual marketplace, which is something we'll talk about further on. Again, you can set a new password here. If you make any changes here, then you're going to want to click the blue Update Profile button. And you will know that your page has been updated because at the top it will say Profile Updated.